The Manifest Destiny. From East Coast to West Coast. American Growth. So this is the study guide for the test on chapter 11. We're going to start off first by learning about the people from the chapter. First person is
Joseph Smith.
He's the leader of the Mormon church. He had a lot of wives. He had some crazy glasses that can look at gold plates.
Records were supposedly written on golden plates.
Yeah, that sounds like God. The Tejanos were Mexicans who called Texas their home. Mining towns in California were really rough places. There was a lot of crime, there was a lot of guns and killing, and lawlessness. And so there were vigilance committees, and these people acted as police, judge, jury, and executioners. People who rushed out to California when they found there was gold were called the 49ers. No, not that kind of 49er. That kind of 49er. President James K. Polk was really determined to get all of the Mexican land, even if it meant by war. He was kind of a shady guy. Davy Crockett was a popular congressman, a frontiersman, and he was killed at the Alamo. Never forget.
I remember the Alamo.
The Alamo. Mountain men trapped fur in the Oregon country, and they also served as guides to people who were coming out west to settle. They also adopted Native American ways. The Mormons were a religious cult led by Joseph Smith. They were persecuted for their weird beliefs.
The Mormons thanked God for Joseph Smith, who claimed that he had done more for us than any other man, including Jesus Christ.
And they settled in Utah, near the Great Salt Lakes. Sam Houston became the president of the Lone Star Republic. Go Texas.
The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Stephen F. Austin was a wealthy American landowner who got into politics in Texas. Kit Carson was a mountain man who led people west. The first Americans to reach the Oregon Territory were missionaries and trappers. Now let's talk about some of the places of this chapter. The first is a trail that went from Missouri all the way to Mexico. That's the Santa Fe Trail. I've been to the Santa Fe Dam. It's a nasty lake. The Alamo was a mission where a small Texas force held off General Santa Anna's troops for just enough time to write the Texas Declaration of Independence. A lot of people died that day. The Oregon country is a territory that goes from the Rocky Mountains all the way to the Pacific Ocean, just north of California. In 1845, the U.S. annexed Texas. The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
The Bear Flag Republic was formed by a group of Americans in Sonoma, California. The Oregon Trail helped thousands of settlers move west. Life in the mining camps had few women, lots of crime, and vigilantes. Law and order. Andrew Jackson at first did not want to annex Texas because this would create an imbalance between the free states and the slave states. And you know how Andrew Jackson felt about that. Missions were Spanish settlements that were created to convert the Native Americans to Christianity. But what really happened is they put them to work, almost like slaves. Alright, let's talk about some of the events and different things that also are found in this chapter. The idea of the Manifest Destiny was that it was the U.S.'s God-given right to own all of the land from the East Coast all the way to the Pacific Ocean, no matter who was living there or not. The Gadsden Purchase. This was southwestern territory that was purchased from Mexico in 1853. The results of the gold rush were that many California cities flourished. You had a ton of people rushing out there for riches. Not many people got rich. Utah took a long time to become a state, 1896, because the Mormons resisted the federal government's authority. Many Americans settled in the Oregon Territory because of economic problems in the East. There was promise of really rich, fertile land and manifest destiny. The Mexican government surrendered to the Americans during the Mexican-American War because The Americans had captured Mexico City. The California Land Law of 1851 eroded the rights of the Californios. The Mormons settled by the Great Salt Lakes because they have been persecuted for their beliefs. The Texas Declaration of Independence was written while the Texas forces held off Santa Anna's troops at the Alamo. That happened in March 2nd, 1836. Well, this is all we have for this chapter. Study hard. Hope you do well on your test.